What's up, YouTube? So, let's talk about my bike. This is a 2021 BMW R18 First Edition. I got it in February of 2020. No, February of 2021. So here's a little walk around of my bike. So what happened is, in 2020, when COVID first started, or places started shutting down, I was still riding, I had a Harley at the time, and I rode that pretty much back and forth to work 90% of the time. And, well, 3 days after shutdown, my bike got stolen. And it got stolen when I got home from work the third day after we locked down in Texas. I pulled up, kickstand out, opened the door, took the dogs for a walk. That walk was about 20 minutes long. And right after that, I come back and my bike is gone. 20 minutes, and they got it. So I ended up on the hunt for another motorcycle, and honestly, I'm a big fan of Indian motorcycles. I've done the test rides and the demo days. I'm a big fan of the Chieftain Dark Horse, even the Scout. Man, that Scout is ridiculously fast. And I honestly, if you would come up to me, I probably would have told you that's what I'm shopping for. And it was. I legit was shopping for one. And I got a couple deals. Some weird things happened where people had Scouts listed as the 1100 Scout, and they were actually the 600. And I didn't want the 600, I wanted the 11. So then I start looking at Chiefs and Chieftains, and with them, they just weren't, there was some problems I could see with even used ones. The paint didn't really last that well on the used ones, and I just, man, I still love them. I just couldn't see myself getting in one. And I really didn't know. I didn't have something I was like hell-bent on. I knew I wanted something that I was going to be like, you know, I'm going to keep this in a garage, maybe get another bike or another car, and if I get one, maybe I'll turn it into a cafe, or maybe I'll convert it over to a chopper, or I don't know. I've always hated choppers. That's a different topic, but lately I've been getting into choppers, and maybe I'm opening my mind to them now. Anyway, I randomly was curious because I've always really, when BMW debuted the R9T, I was like a little kid watching that BMW video. I mean, I swear I would go to work and watch it a couple times. I'd come home and lay in bed and watch it. Like, that R9T video, they hit it out of the park, man. And I was sold on that bike. I love that bike. And to this day, I've still never ridden one or test ridden one. I've sat on one at a dealership. They wouldn't let me test ride them at the time. I don't know why. I have multiple bad experiences going to that dealership. And that dealership has changed owners or company names multiple times. And I've still had bad experiences going there. Over like years, over I would say 10 to 15 years of going to that dealer, I don't have good experiences, including this last experience. I just got the oil change done on this thing. That aside, the BMW R9T, I was a huge fan of that bike. And it's just, for me going back and forth to work, commuting, that would be a lot of fun, but I kind of wanted a bagger, or something I could carry bags on a little bit more efficiently. So I started looking around other options, and I even looked at Triumph. I'm a big fan of that Triumph bobber with the free-floating seat. So I think I read in a forum somewhere, somebody compared, or somebody mentioned in a forum somewhere that people were asking about the Triumph bobber, and somebody said, well, hey, did you see BMW just released their bobber? And I was like, what? And yeah, so I went down the rabbit hole, found the BMW R18. I guess because of COVID happening worldwide, the release of the BMW R18 was just kind of thrown to the side, which is super unfortunate. But yeah, so I went down the hunt of looking to see where they were, if they were in America yet. There weren't that many. Found out there was 3 in the dealership that I just talked about that I had bad experiences in. So I call them up enthusiastically, like, hey, I want a test ride. I want to, you know, come look at it. They're like, yeah, come on by. I went over there 3 times, and they gave me excuses as to why I could not test ride them. 3 times. Like, they don't want to sell a bike 3 times to you. A bike that I actually went back to the dealership 3 times to try to ride. So I end up, you know, going home, shopping online a little bit more, and I'm looking at prices online, and I find one in Richfield, Minnesota. And I end up calling the guy, talking to him a little bit on the phone, asking him questions, sending some emails back and forth. I decide to go take one more trip to try to get a test ride in at this dealership by me, and they finally let me do it. So I do my test ride. It's kind of short, kind of brief. I probably didn't test ride it on the best road because there was a bunch of construction on the freeway right where that dealer is, and I loved it. It might be that, like, you know, new to me bike feeling, But at the same time, there were things like I really did love about that ride. Plus the amount of power it had right on tap was amazing. Like, and I'd been hot rodding my Harley, and the BMW stock just had what I would want. Still does. I'm riding it now. So left that dealership, went back, called the dealership in Minnesota, and negotiated for that one because that guy was nice to me. And the dealer here, not nice to me. So ended up buying it from Richfield. A shout out to Richfield BMW. And yeah. This guy is up my butt, man. I'm one of those people that never understood getting something collectible like a motorcycle or a cool car and just parking it in the garage and never really riding it or driving them. I'm like, if you're gonna get it, let it make you happy. Drive it every day. I'm way happier riding to work than keeping this in the garage and driving. If you like what you see, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit subscribe, turn on notifications. Alright guys, today's dad advice: if something has the ability to make you happy, then don't store it away for later. Go ahead and use it. Let it make you happy, because anything can happen, and the more you just store it away, it's just going to make the next person that owns it happy. So remember, roll hard, play hard.